Hey guys, quick note before this video starts. I talked into the microphone the entire time and then I went back and I think my microphone's broken. So the audio on the mic was really bad, so I just left the camera audio in. It might be a little loud, it might be a little distracting, but I tried to make it as good as possible. Love you guys. This is a really good one, okay? It's really good, I promise. Love you. Talk to her. Talk to her. Talk to her. Yeah. And then what? Hi guys, we're back with the podcast. Finny is going to require a lot of attention of me at the beginning of this podcast. Just let him be. That's my firstborn, okay? You're not going to talk shit about my firstborn. Also, he does look young, scrappy, and hungry. Any Hamel stands out there? He does look a little bit scrappy right now because his mother is a little bit short on money. So we are currently saving up to get him that haircut because I don't know why the place I take him charges over $100. I could probably just find a new place, but alas. How is everyone doing? Did you guys actually miss me? Did you miss me? Today I'm presenting my SZA hoodie to you guys. This is the SOS SZA hoodie, which is actually in my favorite color, so I don't know why I don't wear it more often. It's like actually one of my favorite hoodies, and I never wear it. Speaking of, I need to go through my entire closet. Like I said, I'm pretty short on money right now, yeah. So I think I will be posting to Depop soon. Also, I feel a little bit weird right now talking to a camera in my bed with the microphone and my dog's attacking me. But it'll just get more comfortable as we go on, okay? Let me just make sure my mic is on. Perfect. Y'all can hear me in the back? Clap once if you can. Okay. What are we going to talk about today? Probably what the fuck I've been doing for the last 3-4 months? I don't know. Also, I'm wearing sunglasses because I get self-conscious about where my eyes are looking. So I put on sunglasses so you can't see where I'm looking. Also, I get a lot of compliments on these sunglasses and they are from Princess Polly, as is most of my closet, which is actually embarrassing at this point. But where have I been for 3-4 months? Oh, wow. Been going through a lot, actually. I think this all probably started when I started having these stomach problems. I've always had stomach problems. I'm that friend, you know, like the IBS girlies. Everyone always talks about IBS and the term of like shitting themselves all the time, like pooping a lot. We're just diving right into it. I have the opposite effect where I don't poop. I think that's actually pretty common as well. It's called IBS-C. And I'm not even sure if that's officially what it is. That's just what I've coined it to be. But I don't poop every day. And I'm lucky if I do, but I always have stomach problems, and this time I knew it was different. I'm always kind of monitoring my body, my form, the way I feel. Okay, I love that child so much. He is also partially the reason why I can't get anything done in my house. Anytime I have to do work from home, I used to do work from home, I don't really do that anymore as a barista, but anytime I had to do schoolwork from home, it couldn't happen. It couldn't happen. A Zoom call, never. He limits me from doing so much, and like I've said many, many times before, I don't know what went wrong, but it's almost his 3rd birthday. I think maybe he'll start shaping up soon after that, and once money's in the bank, he's getting a training course, boot camp, and I hope he toughens up soon. Anyways, I've always had stomach issues, blah, 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 blah. Like every bitch you've ever heard. They always say that. Oh, my tummy hurts. Oh, that's me every day I say that. But this time it was very, very different. I was like, it was rock hard. It was as soon as I woke up in the morning. I don't wake up morning skinny. What is that? What is morning skinny? I've never experienced that in my life. I hate it because my stomach always feels rock hard. But this time it was very, very different. Like I looked probably about 6 months pregnant as I was waking up. I wasn't eating anything because it just hurt my stomach so bad, but I was still so bloated. And I was like, okay, something is off. Sorry. I'm sorry. So the way I had to decipher if it was between my uterus or if it was my gastronomical? Wait.
The volume inside this bus is
Wait, what? What is that?
Is astronomically loud.
What's that mean? I can't think of it. I didn't know if it was my gastrointestinal tract. I don't know what that word is. I didn't know if it was like stomach problems or if it was uterus problems, but then I started spotting like a week after my period, and I never do that. I'm pretty regular, okay? And I started spotting and I was like, this is weird, so it must be related to my uterus. So I went to a gynecologist, okay? And let me just tell you, I haven't been there in a very long time. I have not gone to pap smear, whatever. They did blood work, a swab sample thing, and an ultrasound, and a urine test. They took basically every fluid out of me that they could have. They did an ultrasound where they don't go on the belly, they go in you. And I'm gonna be the first one to tell you, those exist. I didn't know if this was common knowledge or not, but apparently there's an ultrasound that they do internally and externally. And for me, they did one internally. So it's like this huge rod that they stick up you. And long story short, she said, looks good. Looks good. I don't see anything. Looks good. What the hell? What the hell? Okay, let me pay you $1,000 to tell me I look good. Damn. So I think it ended up being related to my gastro tract. I really haven't gotten it checked out, but I've been kind of trying to monitor it, and it hasn't really like flared up like that in a while. So I don't know what that was about, but I spent a lot of money at the gynecologist just for her to tell me it all looks good. Right after that, okay, we're just going into a sequence of the past couple of months and what I've been up to. Right after that, I started nannying for this family. I'm so mother. I am mother. Mother is mothering. It was 2 little girls and 2 dogs as well. And I was staying in this house. Now, growing up as a kid, I was terrified. I was terrified of being home alone, being alone. I remember telling my mom, I was like, it's gonna be so sad when I get my license because I'm not gonna go anywhere by myself because I'm too scared to. And now look at me, Miss Independent. I do everything by myself, and it's actually become an issue of isolation in the reverse way. But I am not good at being by myself. I'm not gonna, I don't know, like I never thought I'd be able to live by myself, which I do now. And then also I never thought I'd be able to be in like a house, be in charge of, I never thought I would be able to babysit, first of all, which I've done for months. And then also being a nanny, like living in somebody else's house, oh my gosh, I'm actually so brave. I'm such a good girl. Oh my gosh. And I'm actually so proud of myself for doing that and doing that well. And I was just so amazed with myself, and I had to wake these kids up for school, make them lunch, take them to school, take them to their sewing classes, take them to softball practice, make them dinner, put them to bed, make sure they showered. Like I was doing the mothering mom thing. I was doing the dang thing. And it's not easy because I was also working at the same time. So like a mom would probably do, I would drop them off at school, go to work. Whenever I left work, I would pick them up, and then we would go back to the house and I would have to entertain them until bedtime, and then the cycle repeats. And low key, I think, okay, I'm not gonna say too much because Chapel Roan just got canceled for this, but it kind of like opened my eyes to parenthood. I'm not gonna lie. And I do think being a parent is what I want to do, but I know I just got a little taste of it, and I think it'll be a lot different whenever it's my children, obviously, but I did get a little taste of it, and a little bit of it was sour, but I also think that's because I'm a 22-year-old little girl that just wants to have fun, and I'm low-key kind of selfish right now because I live by myself, I do things by myself, I like doing things when I want to at the time that I want to. I don't want to rely on anyone else's schedule. So I think that's a little bit of me being a selfish 22-year-old right now, that I didn't fully enjoy it, but I think that'll be different down the line. I'm not gonna say too much. So while I was nannying for this family, they left me a car to drive around. so that I didn't have to use my gas, which was crazy. And I was stoked because this was a nice car, okay? And so I dropped the girls off at school in the nice little car. I connect to the Bluetooth. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is nice, because I have a Jeep. It's a fun car, but it doesn't drive like smooth. It's nowhere near like a sports car. I think you know what this is. I think you wanna. It's nowhere near a sports car, okay? It's a fun like monster truck ass vehicle, but driving like this nice car, I was like, oh my gosh, like I feel so like bougie, like oh my gosh. And you know, I grab a coffee, I go home, get ready for work, and then I'm leaving for work and it's like, oh, tire pressure's a little bit low, girl, I would check on it. So I pull over before getting onto the highway, I check the tire, I say, looks good. I pull off, I drive to work. It's probably like 7 or 8 miles, which in LA is probably like 25 minutes. And I get to work and I step out of the car and all I hear is, so that's gonna be the air leaving the tire. Yeah, that's gonna be the air leaving the tire. And I'm gonna walk to the other side of the car and see that the tire is fully on the ground. Awesome. To this nice ass sports car that is not mine. And the people I'm babysitting for they work with my sister-in-law. Like they're not even directly correlated to me. So I'm like, oh my gosh, but I've babysat for them multiple times, so like I know them. But the thing that was specifically scary is that this was the dad's car. And I have only met the mom because the dad has been away producing a movie in Australia. This sounds so wild. Also, Finn is humping right on the camera. So I'm just gonna move that for you guys so you don't have to see that. The dad has been away. I've never met him. I'm driving his car. I get a flat tire. What the Sigma? What the Sigma? I've been saying what the Sigma. Actually, it's been rolling off the tongue. It's been rolling off the tongue a little bit too easily recently. So I might slip up and say it because I've been saying it as a joke, but now it's become a little bit serious. So I am at my job calling AAA. I call AAA to come change the spare. The mom replies to me and says, there is no spare, so just get it towed to the house. I'm sorry? There's no spare? So the AAA guy to change the spare is already on the way. So he gets there and I was like, hey bro. She actually said there's no spare, so like, is there anything you can do? And he was like, well, I could follow you home and pump air in the tire every 5 minutes. And I was like, so I'd rather not. Let's just get it towed. So we had to wait for the towing guy to come, then the different guy with the flatbed towing truck. I don't know. I'm just a girl. I'm handling it all on my own though. Let's talk about that. And the guy with the flatbed tow truck comes and he tows the car back to the house. I handled this all myself while working a shift. I don't even know where to begin with that. And that's just on top of all the stress of actually nannying these children and working and trying to do all the things in my life. And I'm like, that's literally crazy. That's literally crazy. So the most stressful part about all of this is that after I'm done nannying, literally the day after I'm done nannying, I have to leave for the airport at 5 a.m. to fly to Texas. Or I get to. It was low-key a vacation, so I get to fly to Texas the next day, but it just ended up being back-to-back, which, like, traveling's just a little bit stressful, right? So, also I'm thinking that Texas is gonna be like a break from everything, like I'm just gonna rot on the couch and I'm not gonna do anything and it'll be so fun. And tell me why I was doing something the entire time I was in Texas and I was going like, this place, this place, this place, this place, doing this, doing that, and I honestly was kind of upset about it. Like I just wanted time to do nothing and I was doing something the entire time that I was there, which was fun, but it just wasn't what I was expecting and I didn't really conserve any energy for that. So at this point I'm running on empty And I get back from Texas and my car has been, okay, so you're gonna be like, Chloe, you're actually stupid, you're actually dumb. So after having a flat tire, going on vacation, doing this, running back and forth, I get to my own car, and my car has been leaking oil just a little bit. I don't even know like what that means, but it's been kind of leaking a little bit for about a month or so, right? At this point, it gets to the point where my check engine light turns on and I'm like, okay, it's probably time. But I go to work, I'm like, I'll start trying to make that appointment. Like, I've been trying to make this appointment, but whatever. And my car does something really weird on the way home. And I literally pulled over and I was like, I don't know what to do. Am I gonna make it home? Am I not gonna make it home? I don't know. And ultimately I was being very dramatic, but I got really scared. So I make it home, I make the appointment, and I take it the next day to get fixed. And this is right after I'm coming back from a trip. Like, I don't want to be messed with. So I take it to the shop and I pay $1,000 for that to get fixed. Like, what? And then this is when probably Mercury retrograde started, and I have been feeling so terrible this entire Mercury retrograde. I feel hungover every day. Today's like the first day where I've been kind of fine, but I've been feeling hungover every day. I feel cloudy, I feel lethargic, I don't feel like doing anything, and I feel angry all the time, and I'm mad, and I kind of feel manic. Like, I don't want to throw that word around, but yesterday I was bawling, crying. Today I was jumping up and down, laughing and smiling, and like having the best time ever. And I like can't even predict how I'm gonna react to something, and I feel crazy. I feel crazy. I don't know what's going on. And I've just been like mean to people that I love, and that makes me really upset when like I can't control my anger towards people I'm most comfortable with, if that makes sense. And it's just been a time and a half since that all happened. But also something to mention is that I cut my hair. I got curtain bangs and dyed it more red, if you were noticing that. Thank you so much. And I think this is my best hair I've ever had. So my curtain bangs, I had to train them, but they're finally just kind of like going where I want them to, so that's really nice. And I'm trying to think of anything else that happened, but might just have to move on to just random stuff like today. So I'm the type of hopeless romantic that was like, what if I move to LA for a reason? Like, moving to LA is I'm gonna meet my soulmate because I moved to LA and it's all gonna work out, or my brother's gonna hire somebody at this coffee shop and we're gonna fall in love. That was before I knew that everyone being hired was just gonna be like a brother to me. Like, none of those options. I thought it was gonna be somebody random, you know? Or I thought there was gonna be like a regular that came in and he was gonna fall in love with me, or like somebody in the neighborhood was gonna fall in love with me. I kept making up these crazy stories because that's just who I am at my core. That's just who I am. And finally, a little bit of that came true today, okay? There's a guy that works down the street and I thought he was kind of cute. Does he look jarringly similar to my ex? Yes. But I thought he was cute, and guess what I did, guys? I followed him on Instagram. I followed him on Instagram like probably a month ago because my brother follows him, so I thought it would be all fun and games, and he never followed me back. So he comes in today. I haven't seen him in a long time, and I'm kind of ignoring him. Okay, I'm on my phone, he's talking to other people. I'm not really talking to him because, like, I don't need to, thanks. And he starts talking to me, and he compliments my pants. And we go a little back and forth. I got new pants. But then he leaves, and my coworker Mike, who's like literally like Unk, that's Unk, he was like, wow, he was flirting with you. What? Tell me more. What? Go into more detail. What? No. Was he? And Mike was like, yeah, that was like really obvious. He really was flirting with you, and like, yeah. So now I've kind of been hyped up on this delusion all day of like, this is all gonna, he's gonna show up one day and bring me flowers and propose to me, and it's all gonna be great. But the craziest thing about me, and I've talked about this so many times before, is that I have always been boy crazy. Ever since I can remember, I've been boy crazy 24/7. That's all I can think about all the time. Like, literally can't stop. It's obsessive. And I've talked about this before, so I don't want to get too much into it. But I had a situation that ended last July, and in August I said, okay, Declaration of Independence, like, I'm gonna be single for a whole year. I'm not gonna talk to anyone for a whole year. And at the time I was like, there's no way that's actually gonna happen. I know me too well to be like, that's not gonna happen. A whole year? But when I tell you this situation ruined me, it ruined me. Like, I low-key, this sounds really, really stupid, but I had like this weird epiphany, and I was like, oh my gosh, one of the biggest parts of my personality was like liking a boy. And I would talk about boys all the time, and I would talk about these dates I would go on, and I would talk about this guy I met on a dating app. And I don't have any of that to talk about right now. And I'm not looking for it. I don't want it. I'm disgusted by it. I don't want a single effing part of it. And I've talked about this before, but I was thinking about it. I was like, that was such a huge part of my character. Like, anywhere we went, like a restaurant, I would be like, ooh, look at that boy. Ooh, look at that guy. Oh, the waiter's kind of cute. Should I get his number? It was always like I was on a fucking mission to like bag somebody. And finally, the fucking shackles are broken and I can breathe. I can think for myself. I can do things because I want to do them, not because X, Y, and Z. And partially, I have struggled with showing my personality on the internet for a very long time because I think I was still in the back of my head looking for a man's approval. And I'm done with that shit. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. And you might be thinking, she's low-key giving Brittany Broski right now, because I align with her completely. We're experiencing the same things, and she speaks to my soul. And something she said on her most recent podcast, and I'm not even trying to be like copying her blatantly, but it just really amped me up to the point that I'm at right now, is all the guys that I talk to want to be me. They want to be me, because men could never be half of what a woman is. They don't experience half of the hardship and like growth that we have to go through. And it's like, how do you trust a man when they don't have to experience any of the things that you do? And you know that all the things that you go through make you a better person, while men don't have to go through anything and they just have to stay the same. They have to stay neutral. Like, this is like, I'm being so vague about all of this, and I'm not really making sense because this is just a rant that came about me like so randomly, but it feels so amazing to decenter men from my life. And it really couldn't happen until experiencing something bad, which sucks. And I think about this all the time. When like I was in college, I always wanted to date these guys. I always wanted to be in a relationship with them. And they were like, no, I'm not looking for a relationship. All these guys don't look for a relationship just because they want to be a whore. Just because. But then girls, when they say, I don't want a relationship, I don't want to talk to men, I don't want to be with anyone, most of the time, it's because they were wronged by one of those fuckers before. It's because some guy took them and ruined them, and usually they were probably a hopeless romantic, and now they are just so disinterested, as I am. And I'm saying all this and it all kind of sounds like, oh, duh. But I'm just mad about it. Like, I'm just mad. And it's like, oh, every time I see a girl, I'm like, run! Because like, that used to be me. Whenever I can see my old self in other people, I want to shake them and be like, no! Get out! Because now I know better, you guys. Which is actually a positive. You always gotta look at the positives to come out of certain situations. And this is a positive because I have realized my worth. I've always said like, know your worth, know your worth. and then accept the bare minimum. Girl! No! I'm done with it. And I have finally come to realize how much I have to offer, and all of this is from Brittany Broski, and I want to give her all the credit here. I don't want that to be skewed at all, but truly, like, what she was talking about in her most recent podcast just really, really spoke to me. But I do just want to talk more about my personal experience, because I don't want to like coin anything that she already said. But I've finally been able to decenter men from my life. So even whenever a situation like today, whenever everyone's like, he was flirting with you, he wants you, I'm not reading into it any more than that. Even though I had interest in him, I'm letting it lie. I haven't really thought about it since it happened, and that's not like me. If you told me somebody was flirting with me, I would find their Instagram, I would DM them, I would text them, I would start calling them. I would literally go to no ends to get them if you told me that information. And now you can tell me that information and I just move along with my day. And I think that is so beautiful. And I'm so happy to have gotten to this point, because also, since that situationship ended, there has been times where I keep people around for validation. And I want people to tell me I'm pretty whenever I get pretty. I want people to compliment me 24/7, da 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 da. And recently, all of that validation has been coming from myself, and I can't even explain to you how good that feels. Because never in my fucking life, like, I'm a very confident person, but it wasn't until 2025 that all of my validation was coming from myself. And I was okay with that. That's insane. It has always been, I want this guy to like me. Even if I don't want him, even if I don't want to be with him, even if I don't want to even see him in person, I want him to validate me, and I want him to tell me I'm beautiful, and I want him to tell me this, this, this. And I needed to hear it from a man of some sort. And finally, I don't need to hear it, because I know it, bitch. I know I'm beautiful. I know I'm bad. I know I'm smart. I know I know I'm illiterate. I know I'm kind. I know I'm nice. I know I'm funny. I know I'm all these things. I don't need somebody else to tell me anymore. It feels so good. And I honestly can't tell you how to get there, except for going through the pits of hell and realizing that, like, nobody's gonna fix that for you. And, like, people tell you this, and you can't, it's impossible to just get there. I feel like. But there comes a point where you're just done, and you're done putting up with all of it. Some people reach that a lot earlier than other people, and for me, I had to go through some shit to get there. But like my sisters, I feel like they were just born that way. Like, they have always been their own biggest fans and have never looked for outside validation for whatever they were doing. And that's why they're so good at everything that they do. I miss my sisters. I freaking love them, bro. I love my sisters. Do you guys love your sisters? Or brothers? Or anyone in your family? Gosh. Anyways, should we talk about Ariana Grande? Ariana Grande. This also kind of goes along with the whole concept of boys and what we were talking about, is that last year, March 8th, 2024, I got out of a different situation last winter, and that was very, very painful and very hard to move on from, and now it's very hard to even remember, which is a beautiful thing. But I got out of the situationship, and it wasn't until Ariana Grande released Eternal Sunshine that I moved on. Like, something about her releasing that album, I was like, something changed, and I flipped a switch, and I was like, it's fine, it's over, it's in the past, I'm done. Like, I moved to a different city, it's gone, it's over. That guy was not it either. So once that album came out, like, I Wish I Hated You, oh bitch, Eternal Sunshine, Bye, like, all of these songs just spoke so clearly to what I felt. And I have always felt that way with Ariana Grande, and I also know that Brittany Broski has said all the same things. So I'm so sorry that this is aligning heavily with Brittany Broski. I just love her, and I also align with her very clearly. But there has been so many times where Ariana Grande takes the thoughts in my brains, writes an album about them, and then releases it at the perfect time for me to feel those things. I remember Thank You Next was one where it was like, whoa, this timing is scary. NASA was like one of the driving forces behind one of my breakups. Like, that's tea, but yeah. Anyways, you can kind of put 2 and 2 together there. Anyways, Ariana Grande has always been in my top 2 artists. For a while, she was number 1, and I have always been an Arianator. And I think just like so many of her songs make me feel so many different things, and I think she has just flourished into what she is today so beautifully, and I don't think she gets enough credit for all the stuff she's ever been through. And I just know so many people could never fill her shoes. They could never live a day in her shoes, experience what she's experienced. It's just insane whenever you look into it a little bit deeper, and there are just so many songs by her that never get old for me. So Eternal Sunshine having the healing effect that it had on me, after experiencing another situationship, I was like, okay, Eternal Sunshine Deluxe is gonna heal me once again. And I think it did. I think it literally did. I don't know why, but she just speaks these experiences in such a beautiful way. And it's just like, I was watching my own YouTube video, because I'm a narcissist, just kidding. I was watching my own YouTube video from last August, and I was like, that's not me. That's not me. That's not me. Chloe Rand is changing every single month, every single week, every single day. I'm unpredictable. And I was watching a video from last August, which was not even a year ago, and I'm like, that's not even close to who I am today. And I think that is something so beautiful, in the sense that I am stronger, I am more confident, I am more independent, I am just a better version of who I was then, and I'm going to continue to get better. And I think that's like kind of what Ariana encapsulated in the Deluxe, is like, I have gotten so much better since this, I have grown. It's just like, it's just all so good. Also, something really funny about the Deluxe is that I always want to apply it to my own life, and I think it applies a little bit more to like my relationship from 3 years ago. So I keep just like bringing that back out, even though I haven't felt any sort of way about it in the past 3 years. But I'm like, wow, I need to apply these songs to something, and the only thing I can apply it to is the one relationship I've been in ever. So that's what I'm gonna do. I think that might be all for today. I've been trying to keep Finn as calm as possible, but he's just been very energetic. I have been posting a lot on TikTok recently, and I think that's another thing, is that I have gotten a lot better at posting on TikTok. I have been scared of TikTok for a very long time. I post on YouTube a lot, I post on Instagram stories a lot, but TikTok is one that I have been very scared of to show my personality. And I've been posting a lot on there, so go follow that if you want to. It's I'm Chloe Rand. Don't ask about the username. My other one got taken and I had to put I'm at the beginning of it, so I'm gonna go hang out with Finn and maybe watch a movie. But love you guys. Thank you so much for watching or listening, and I'll talk to you soon. Love you. Bye.